In today's news, breaking news, 2 men found dead in the BVI. Investigations are now ongoing.
It's bowling time once again. Registration begins for the 2021 Industrial Bowling League, and BVI Arbitration Centre appoints new registrar. In addition to that, Mrs. Rosalie Adams OBE returns to the public service. This time, she's leading the Public Service Commission. All this and more when 284 News returns.
Hey Johnson, what's up? Well, you look like you're about to pass out.
I think I am. But anyhow.
Cho, what are you doing?
Remember last year when I spoke to you over the phone? When I said, well. Anyhow, ever since that moment, I was wanting to take this step further with you.
OMG, Johnson!
I want to know if you, via, would officially have me as your sales rep with a friend.
What?
To get live with our February promotions.
Huh?
Get live, get love, and get gifted. Bring a friend to CCT to sign up for a freedom plan. Take a picture with them in the store and post to social media with the hashtag GetLiveCCT. Then put your receipt with your number in the golden basket and wait on a call from Jante. First place gets $500 each. Second place matching Samsung Galaxy A30s, and third place $150 shopping vouchers each to one mark.
So are you really saying?
Really? And I could bring a friend too?
More the merrier.
Welcome everybody. It's Friday, February 5th, 2020. A fantastic Friday to each and every one of you. I'm Ron Grant.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes. Today we're bringing you your local, regional, and international content. We're definitely happy to be closing out the weekend with you this evening. But Ron, before we jump into our newscast, breaking news. Now, 2 men have been found dead as of this afternoon right here in the British Virgin Islands. One of them is a prominent businessman in the BVI community, and he was found dead in his home at Treadafall, Tortola. Then subsequently, another man was found dead in the Carrot Bay community. Now, it's been an overwhelming afternoon for the BVI community. Of course, investigations are still going on into both matters at this time.
Well, Carla, it's very early in the year 2021, and I know that not only the families of each of these individuals, family and friends, but the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and the territory at wide would not have wanted to, venture into the new year with this type of activity. But we do want to take this opportunity, most importantly, to wish the utmost and sincere condolences to the families of both of the individuals, and we continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers. In addition to that, of course, it is a bowling time once again. Industrial Bowling League teams can now register for the 2021 Bowling League. A sports officer and coordinator in the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports, Miss Charlene Hill, said teams of 5 are eligible to join the league, and at least 2 females must be present on each team. Registration fee is $100, $120 per team, with a weekly team fee of $20, $4 per person per game, and $3 for bowling shoes and persons for the night. Now, for more information, of course, for this very fun and exciting activity, persons and teams who are interested should contact the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports, the Department of Education, that is at 346-7383. Again, that's 346-7383. In addition to that, Kyla, we know these events really just bring persons together, corporate teams together, and it serves as a number of really important camaraderie events. In these times, it is very, very important for us to continue to come together and have fun, and for that, that is exactly what we are doing.
I agree. Now, as we move on, now the British Virgin Islands Ports Authority would like to inform the public that the Royal Caribbean International's Gladiator of the Sea will be departing the territory on the 6th of February 2021 and the Rhapsody of the Sea on the 7th of February 2021. Now, the Guerrier of the Sea will return to the British Virgin Islands alongside Vision of the Seas on the 11th of February 2021 for their continuation of the warm layover. Now, the public is reminded that the cruise pier is a secure zone and persons are not permitted past the security gate. We could remember when these two cruise ships entered into our waters,
Yes.
persons were very alarmed by them. So we do want to...
Alarmed and excited.
Yes,
Yeah.
alarmed and excited, but we do want to remind the public that these ships are just here for warm layover. So they're leaving and two of them will be back for warm layover in our seas.
Most definitely. It's interesting, Kyla, as much as passengers are not coming off of the ships, they have served as a simple ray of hope.
Yes.
And a bright light for persons
agree.
traversing and just seeing, coming down the hills to see those cruise ships.
I agree. It's something that we
yes.
definitely, of course, we're in different times, but it's something that we're most accustomed to. And it does bring a warmness to our seas as well as just the town area in general. So
Indeed.
I think I would say for myself, we're happy to have them.
Indeed. Now, beginning on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, a veteran public officer and retired Deputy Governor, Mrs. Rosalie Adams OBE, has been appointed to lead the Public Service Commission. This was revealed in a Government Information Services release. Now, the Public Service Commission is responsible, of course, that's the Service Commission, is responsible for advising the governor on appointments to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, as well as disciplinary matters relating to police officers. As chairwoman, Mrs. Adams will ensure, of course, that the Police Service Commission carries out its work in the impartial and fair manner. Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. David Archer Jr. said that with more than 50 years of experience in the public service, Mrs. Adams is highly qualified to carry out this role. Mrs. Adams, he said, has served in many areas across the public service and has a reputation for being very effective at her work, but also for being fair-minded and kind, Mr. Archer Jr. said, adding that I am grateful that she is willing to continue her service by taking on this new role. Now, Mrs. Adams was awarded the OBE for services to the British Virgin Islands in 2018. She has also served as acting governor, led the BVI Honors Committee and the BVI Diabetes Association, and has been active in numerous other community-based organizations. Section 97, of course, of the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007 empowers the Police Service Commission to advise His Excellency the Governor on appointing, disciplinary, and removing members of the police force. Additionally, the Commission advises the Governor on any complaints made by the public. Kyla, once again, we see where Mrs. Rosalie Adams, who has served the Virgin Islands government in various capacities for some 50 years, is now returning, but this time she is returning within the Police Service Commission. As we continue to recruit, as we continue to look to strengthen the police force, I think this is a most noteworthy appointment. A lot of the times, experienced and valued persons who understand the public service. It is very important that we have those persons as a foundation, and we look forward to her continued contributions to the territory.
I can definitely agree. I think Mrs. Rosalie Adams would do very well in this role, and I know that we are very much at a pivotal role as it pertains to our police department and our police officers. We've been through quite a lot within the last year, so we definitely want to wish her all the best in this role. Now, as we move forward, the British Virgin Islands International Arbitration Centre, an independent non-for-profit institution serving the demands for dispute resolution in the international business community, today announced the appointment of Hannah Dumal as their new registrar. She replaces the former registrar who served as registrar from the founding of the BVI Centre in 2016 until January 2021. Now, Ms. Dumal has a distinguished career, having served in the arbitration sector at leading international firms and institutions in Hong Kong, Washington, D.C., and Paris. Now, in a quote, the BVI International Arbitration Centre is pleased to welcome Hannah Dumal as registrar as we affirm a role in maintaining a quality legal framework and a stable political environment in the British Overseas Territory. Ms. Dumal's experience in commercial arbitration and investor-state arbitration, both in private practice and at institutions, is invaluable. She will play a key role as our arbitration activities continues to increase and we meet the new challenges of virtual proceedings with our state-of-the-art technology and systems. As a citizen of France and Morocco, she embodies the BVI International Arbitration Centre's commitment to cultural and gender diversity. Now, these were the words of the Chief Executive Officer, that is, over at the BVI International Arbitration Centre. Now, Ms. Dumal joins the BVI IAC from Pinsent Manson in Hong Kong, where she was a registered foreign lawyer and senior practice development lawyer in the international arbitration, construction, advisory, and dispute practice. She previously worked as a registered foreign lawyer, as we said before, and she was also a counsel in Hong Kong, and before that as counsel at the Hong Kong International Arbitration Centre. Now, her experience also includes an wide variety at the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes in Washington, D.C. In Paris, she was an associate in international litigations and arbitration practice. Now, a trainee lawyer at Allen Overy and an intern at Hubert Smith Freehills. Now, Ms. Dumal received her Master's of Law in International Legal Studies from the Georgetown University Law Center in Washington, D.C., and her Master's of Law in Arbitration and International Business Law with honors from the University over in Paris. Now, at the University of Paris, she received both her Master's of Law in Comparative Law and Arabic Countries Law, and so much more. Now, Ms. Dumal comes with a vast experience, and we definitely want to wish her all the best in this new role as the registrar over in the BVI International Arbitration Centre.
Most definitely. Viewers are still ahead. We have so much more on the local and regional scene. Stick with us. You're watching 284 News.
The win! Oh!
What are the hell?
I'm freaking out!
Is time.
284 News.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Continuing on the local scene, Dr. Carl Dawson will be supporting the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fishery, and Agriculture as a consultant on various matters including policy, succession planning, and tertiary education. This was revealed in a Government Information Services release. Now, Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, said that there are significant areas of weakness in the ministry, and Dr. Dawson's extensive knowledge, expertise, and of course, local and international experience are valuable resources in progressing its ambitious agenda. Dr. Dawson's responsibility will include, but of course not limited to, assisting with the implementation of the Agriculture and Fisheries Marketing Authority Bill, liaising with the H. Lavely Stout Community College on the implementation of the Teacher Education Institute, providing support on matters of accreditation, mentorship, and new leadership planning. Of course, that including strategic planning, program development, program review, and succession planning, liaising with the regional and international organization on scholarship opportunities for Virgin Islanders, especially the education sector, and collaborating with the Ministry of Natural Resources, Labor, and Immigration to facilitate work readiness training. Now, Dr. Dawson is a graduate of the University of Florida with a doctorate of philosophy degree in higher education administration. He has served the H. Lavely Stout Community College for 24 years and was the president of that said institution. He recently held the position of president at the Anguilla Community College from 2017 to 2020, and also serves as the president of Towers Educational Consultant. Kyla, as we continue to progress within our system, we see where a variety of services are being implemented. Dr. Dawson, of course, most notably, we last saw him not only in the capacity of president of the H. Lavely Stout Community College, but he later on ran for political office with the now ruling Virgin Islands Party, and he is now taking up that mantle. With his expertise, of course, in education, I think that the department could more than likely use his expertise.
Most definitely. I think once again we see someone coming back to now assist the public service. I think we're very much at a pivotal point as we continue to deal with COVID-19, the pandemic. The pandemic has affected many industries in the territory, specifically our education system. So I'm very happy to see Dr. Dawson back now to lend a hand.
Well, Kyla, while we're on the topic, I'd really like to add and encourage the general public, particularly the civil service, because we send a lot of young people away. We train a lot of young people.
Great.
And while we are most noteworthy and blessed to have the solid expertise of persons who have served in different capacities for a number of years, I think it is more than time that we continue to train and propel some younger persons in a variety of disciplines who have gone away and trained. Now is more than ever the time for us to continue to encourage them, and in encouraging them, we should afford them the opportunities to serve in the same capacities as well.
I do agree. I think succession planning is definitely
Very
something
important.
that we need to practice here in our territory. Now, as we continue on, persons requiring a COVID-19 test for travel purposes are reminded to make an appointment 3 days prior to their confirmed date of travel. Now, Medical Officer Dr. Christine Harry said the BVI Health Services Authority has been having issues with people visiting the authority without appointments for COVID-19 tests and are demanding that results be available the following day. Now, Dr. Harry said while the authority is doing its best not to turn people away, it is having technical issues with the impromptu testing. She said, and I quote, "As a result, there are more people being tested with wrong spellings, incorrect dates of birth, and even wrong gender on their paperwork," the medical officer said. She added, the laboratory team will not correct any results already printed if the paperwork is submitted with inaccuracies. Persons requiring a COVID-19 test for travel purposes are asked to email COVID@thebvihsa.vg. Now, within 3 days of scheduled travel, a form will be emailed to the sender to be completed with details needed to make the appointment. If more than one person is traveling, one form must be completed for each traveler. Individuals are asked to ensure that all information included on the form is spelled correctly and is accurate. Persons needing a COVID-19 test for medical purposes should also make an appointment and follow the same guidelines. Processing of results takes 24 to 36 hours at the cost of $70. Now, the BVI Health Services Authority is committed to delivering excellent, compassionate, client-centered healthcare across the territory. So, just yesterday, we spoke a little bit about these technical difficulties that the BVI Health Services Authority was experiencing as it pertains to, and still is experiencing. And I think throughout this whole pandemic, the BVI Health Services Authority has been working tirelessly. So I think as a community, we can help them to push things forward a bit more.
I agree, Kyla, that as a community, we could continue to assist them. But I also think that as a health services or regulatory body, they can do a bit of a better job as making sure that individuals who are coming, like you go to the hospital just to check in and perhaps visit someone, you have to have identification. How can someone put on their...
wrong,
and you're not verifying?
Come on now.
No. Next story.
All right, viewers, let's take a quick commercial break. This is 284 News, and we'll be right back.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News. Viewers, we are live and direct with the one and only Mr. Art Christopher. We are speaking about the 13th Annual African Remembrance Ceremony. Now, as we all know, this is Black History Month across the world, but particularly in the Virgin Islands, we pay very special attention to not only local heritage, but African remembrance. And Mr. Art Christopher, first of all, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to 284 Media.
Well, thank you, Ron, for having me, and look forward to our conversation.
Now, it's been 13 years since we have been observing the African Remembrance and the wreath-laying ceremony, specifically here in the Virgin Islands. Tell us about initially how this concept came about, and why did you and your team perhaps think it was so important for us to pay such special attention to this significance?
Well, this event started with our elder, Gil Trott.
Okay.
He's an elder in our African Studies Club. And he went to the oceans and casted a wreath. He felt it so important that we needed to memorialize the tributes of our forefathers or ancestors who traversed the Middle Passage and gave way for us to be here. So he did that action in remembrance of them. So we followed in that tradition.
And continued on. Now this year is no different. 13 years after, we're still continuing the tradition. Tell us about what we can expect this year.
So this year we have a very exciting program. We have our Honorable Premier who agreed to come and be our guest speaker. We also have poems, poetry. We have drumming. We have a skit that's going to be organized and done by Miss Janice Stout. So we feel like we have a very exciting lineup for persons participating this year.
Wonderful. Now, of course, viewers, the flyer which you just saw on the screen, but Mr. Christopher, can you reiterate the time and date that this event will be happening, as well as the place?
So this event is going to be on Sunday, and we're going to start at 2 o'clock. And this is behind Craft Alive in the area right by the sea.
Yes. Now, when we think of African heritage, a lot of persons like to stereotype and really separate the Virgin Islands from African heritage, meaning, well, we don't know where our ancestry really originated. But when you look from your seat and the African Studies group, how important is it for Virgin Islanders to be aware not only one of their African heritage, but to embrace that?
Well, it's critical from where we sit, and so part of what we do during Black History Month is to go around educating our community and educating ourselves also in terms of what that connection means, and being able to give ourselves that sense of identity.
Yes.
So our connection to our heritage is critical.
Now, when you observe over the 13 years, is there any significance that has really taken place? 13 years is a really long time for us to be observing, but when you look back at the, just the myriad of opportunities that we've had to celebrate our African ancestry, and now again in our 13th year, is there any particular year that has stood out to you?
Well, there have been many events that have stood out. One year when we actually started to do our libations tradition. So at the beginning of the event, we do libations. And part of the African tradition is to do a libation at the beginning of any significant event. And so we thought it's so important that we incorporated that into the ceremony that we perform. And I think it has been well received in our community, and many persons have spoken about the sense of connectedness that they feel because of that.
Most definitely. Yeah, Mr. Christopher, I must commend you for really charting the course as it pertains to African studies. And while we celebrate Black History Month all across the world, particularly in the United States of America, and of course regionally as well, I think it's very important for us to continue to chart the course as it pertains to our heritage. Many persons might have their different views on that, but for us here in the Virgin Islands, I think it's very important that we continue to chart that course, and I want to thank you publicly, you and your team, for charting that way forward and making us aware in every aspect that we can. And this ceremony, the wreath laying ceremony, viewers, is quite important, and we encourage you to support this initiative. Viewers, that was the one and only Mr. Art Christopher. Kyla, as we celebrate a Black History Month, it is so imperative that we here in the British Virgin Islands continue to celebrate and teach the importance of African studies. Now, of course, many persons have their understanding of where our roots have come from, but we see where Mr. Art Christopher and his team here in the BVI are making a conscious effort for the 13th year in a row to make sure that the African Studies groups continues to merit and really appreciate from whence we came from their perspective.
I do agree. I think it's awesome. As you said, 13 years, that is quite some time, and I think it is important for the BVI to also celebrate what is our culture, what is our heritage as it pertains to their point of view, and what our point of view really looks like in that regard.
Indeed, and of course, viewers, you are encouraged to participate in that event this upcoming weekend.
No, of course. Now, viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. It's always a pleasure. We'll see you on Monday as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and of course, international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Of course, be sure to tune into our Facebook page and of course our website for happenings over the weekend. We make sure to keep you updated. It's always a pleasure. Have a beautiful and awesome rest of the weekend. Happy Friday, guys. Bye-bye.
Happy Friday.